Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here, and welcome to my review for the penultimate episode and spoiler talk for the penultimate episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Two real quick things to start. I know that the episodes have aired in Germany, but I have not been able to find them where I usually watch them, so I'm gonna have to wait for the Australian airings. And I've also been avoiding reading the spoilers since I'm so close to being able to actually see them. So unless I magically find the other one this week, it'll just kind of be normal. Like, do they even have English audio, or were they just like, it's morphing time, yeah? That's why I haven't talked about him until now. Also, really exciting announcement in honor of Beast Morphers coming back in the US, as well as in honor of Beast Morphers about to end for everybody else. I have finally launched a shirt store. Why is this relevant to Beast Morphers? Well, because I have shirts that support two very important causes near and dear to my heart. Hashtag Team Roxy, which is very important for this episode, and Justice for Beastbots to support the purest characters in Beast Morphers. And I also have a logo shirt if you want to rep your favorite nonsense person. Why would you? I'm the worst. But it made sense to put a logo shirt there instead of saying, hey, launch a Dawson Rider shirt store with all Team Roxy merch. So I wanted to mention that real quick. It's just very simple stuff to start. I'm going to have a few more things hopefully by the end of the year, but I wanted to do something simple and finally push myself to do it. And I really wanted a Team Roxy shirt to hopefully wear in some reviews in the future. So, sorry I bogged down with that, but I wanted to mention it before I forgot it. So let's talk about this episode, because I thought it was a great episode. And again, I have not read the spoilers for episode 20, so there is a chance some of you may know something I'm not, so I might be mentioning something and you'd be like, wow, you're an idiot. That happens in the next episode. So, yeah. This episode I felt had a lot coming together, and something I talked about last week is I was worried about them not feeling like a finale, because the last few seasons we really had that problem where it literally wasn't until the very last episode that it felt like a finale, and this felt like penultimate episode finale stuff. Like, it felt like it could work as an hour finale if we smushed them together, but it also felt like a really good cliffhanger with what was going on. As we were following up on last week what they were doing with Roxy's pod, I'm not sure what the goal of that was yet. Again, those of you in the German future of episode 20 might know, but they discovered that they tampered with the pod and it was basically causing her to become sicker. And they're like, okay, well, we can just destroy the avatar and it'll cut the connection and everything will be good. And that created one of the core conflicts of the episode, because they're trying to get back the transporters from last week, but Ravi really wants to save Roxy by destroying the avatar. And it kind of created one of those classic scenarios in a way of, like, you know, duty over your personal obligations. And I got that, but I think that they were being a little bit stupid tactically. Like, I totally got that it was the priority to save the whole city over just one person, you know, the needs of the many and all that. But I don't think it was very smart tactically for Ravi's mom to put him on the case. Like, there's been tons of stories like that, not just in PR, but in fiction in general, where someone will test, you know, a soldier or an officer or anybody of, like, you know, can you do this and set aside your personal feelings to save the day? But I just don't think that was the time to do that, especially when you have a team of 5 people. Like, later on when they find the transporters, she puts Ravi in charge of it. And of course, yeah, it creates that interesting conflict, but I think it would have been smarter because she knows his focus is split. If it were me, I mean, I'm not a commander. I haven't gone to Grid Battle Force school, but I would have put somebody else on it, because I know that you want to teach him a lesson, but, like, now's not the time. I would have, I know we have footage too. We have the footage to think about of what happened in the footage, but if we didn't have the footage, if I would have sent, like, gold, silver, and yellow to guard the transporters, because that's 3 people on it, you know, it's more guaranteed safe. Send red to fight the Megazord that was attacking, because he's got a full-on Megazord. And then let blue go after Roxy, because then you could still save her, because hashtag Team Roxy. But also, then you don't have to worry about anybody's loyalties being divided. Like, so that kind of bothered me a little bit, because I think that it was... Power Rangers will often make stupid tactical decisions like that. That being said, it led to a freaking awesome scene where we got to see the Blue Ranger driving a white van. He's driving the white van and Roxy stops him and to distract him, because she knows it's going to distract him, so Blaze can ultimately steal the transporters back. But it leads to this awesome fight scene between the two of them. Really awesome choreography, in my opinion. I thought it was very well shot fight scene. Both in terms of they had like a morphed fight scene, and then one where Roxy Civilian was fighting Blue Ranger on his own because he crushed her morpher. Like, that was a sweet moment. He's like, He didn't say that was kind of lame. It was really cool. Like, he smashed the morpher with his hand. I thought that was a pretty sweet moment. And it was like savage. Like, he defeated her by shooting her in human form. Like, I know she's an avatar, and they always try to drive home the point that she's an avatar and not actually real Roxy. Like, they made sure to make that distinction clear many times throughout the series. But still, very often in Power Rangers shows, they will avoid the human actor being hurt like that. So, like, usually if there's a human actor underneath a suit, they'll have him in the monster mode or in the armor when they're destroyed. He destroyed her in her human mode, which just made it more savage. Because I know he knows he's trying to save real Roxy, but I don't know, that would have been difficult for me. Like, okay, I gotta save my girlfriend, but I gotta shoot her in the face to save her. Like, but no, it's not her, but I mean, he didn't shoot her in the face, but you know what I mean. Like, it was still, I was just impressed with the way it was handled. I thought it was a very nice culmination, and it was very intense of that storyline, so I appreciated that. And then you also have a culmination of Devin's storyline, where he's at his dad's re-election thingy. That's the technical term. And he keeps getting called, and then Ben and Betty are being chased by Tronics, and he sees Devin running away from the Tronics, thinking that he's running away, not like, I gotta go find a spot to morph. It reminded me of that scene in Spider-Man 2 where they're in the bank, and Peter leaves to go change into the costume, but Aunt May doesn't know that, and she's like, Peter, don't leave me! That kind of leads to a culmination of Devin's storyline and his dad being disappointed in him, which obviously leads to him finding out later that Devin is a ranger. And in an unexpected way, usually when that happens, the person will see the character morph, like Shane's brother, but he actually saw him demorph in a fight with Blaze, which I thought was kind of a cool twist. And Devin got kidnapped too. I wasn't expecting that. And so that was really cool. I thought that was a nice little culmination of that as well. And the mayor's kind of a cool character too. I mean, he can kind of be a little bit traditional, douchey about that type of stuff, you know, that storyline. But he also took out some Tronics with a shovel to save Ben and Betty. Speaking of Ben and Betty, I did want to talk about them for a second, because their humor could be very hit and miss, but there was a couple parts I liked from them this week, and I think it highlighted something I do like about them in general, is that they feel important to the plot. Not like important, but you know what I mean. They don't feel like Victor and Monty, where they're just there to fart into a can and leave, because they actually found the transporters, and I kind of thought the scene was funny where they said, oh, we found the transporters, the old family luck. And then they get attacked. They're like, oh no, we're being attacked. The old family curse. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny because it made me think, like, that's probably what their family's like. Like, for every good thing that happens, they have, like, an accident thing happen where, like, they slip on a banana or something. And there was also a scene, speaking of, where they used food to fight monsters later, which was a little bit ridiculous, but I did think there was one funny scene in it where she had like a bunch of Link sausage and she was like swinging it around to go for the Tronics, and I don't know, I liked the physical comedic timing of Betty swinging it around and Ben was like ducking perfectly in time with her doing it. Like, I don't know, I just wanted to highlight that they're not all bad if you don't like them. Like, I'll talk about that probably more at length in the series review, but I thought they had some solid moments in it. But then, at the end, Roxy did end up waking up, and it seemed like she wasn't getting better, but she woke up and she revealed she does have the memories from Evil Roxy, which I'm very happy about, which they obviously used as a plot device because they had to have the Rangers know what was going to happen, which is Evox is about to get the body. But I'm glad going forward for whatever happens with their characters that they're going to remember it, because I think that creates an interesting conflict and interesting story possibilities rather than the last thing her remembering being right before she became a ranger. So I like that. I'm very interested to see where that goes in the future. Again, haven't seen episode 20, but regardless, I'm excited to see what happens with her in episode 20 and next season and all that stuff. And so Evox actually gets away with it. His transporter scheme's working. He's about to get a, almost at a box, but he's about to get a body. And really cool plot twist, especially since I just re-reviewed yesterday's episode 9, where they kept the gate pieces from when they were trying to get Evox into Steel's body. They brought that back, and they're going to use the gate pieces themselves to help them get to Evox. That was a really cool twist, because this idiot was talking about this yesterday. Why didn't they just destroy it? They're like, it's too dangerous to keep Steel alive because get out of here. So I thought that was pretty funny. Like, yes, like literally yesterday I was just talking about that. The fact that why would they save the gate pieces if that could be dangerous when they were going on about stealing Steel? And I like that they brought that back. That was a nice attention to detail, something that's been missing from PR lately, so I couldn't not mention that. I thought that was a really cool beat, that they actually remembered that. So yeah, overall, I thought this was a really great episode. It really brought together the plot that's been coming together for Evox. It brought together Roxy's plot with Ravi, and as well as the plot with Devin and his dad. It was really like entertaining too, like the pacing of it. Like, this was one of those episodes that when it ended, I was like, oh, it's over. Like, I didn't realize the episode was over. So I'm really excited to see the finale and talk about it with you guys. You know, maybe I'll find it early, I don't know, but otherwise it'll be next week, same time, same place. If you're interested in the shirts, I will put a link in the description if you want to rep Team Roxy or Team me. Probably not, but more likely Justice for Beastbots, because they were sidelined again. Smash was there concerned for Ravi during this episode and no one cared. Anyway, overall, I didn't give this episode a score yet, did I? I would give it an 8.5, I think, if I haven't already given it a score. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for all my videos. Till next time, thanks guys, Dawson Ryder, signing out.